Hello, guess who it is? How are you all doing? Happy Monday, happy Monday. Wow, look at her go. Getting those steps in, folks, getting those steps in. Is the okay? It might be helpful to check the volume before you get over here, Wanda. Oh, yeah, it's up. Yes, welcome everyone, welcome everyone. Walking and talking with Wanda. It's been a minute, hasn't it, folks? It has been a minute. How are things going? How are things going? Things are going okay over here. Things are going okay over here. How was your weekend? Save those coins. This is a budgeting channel after all, folks. It is a budgeting channel after all. Speaking of which, I have to get all of my things together, my thoughts together about what I'm going to do with the things that I have going on and the things that I want to be going on with regards to my cash stuffing and that type of thing, etc. But yeah, here we are Monday. Happy New Week, folks. Happy New Week. Whew. Hopefully there's a truck outside of my house on the other side of the street and you're not hearing that. But let's get into it. What is the tip of the day? The tip of the day. Make sure that you change your passwords to your email, maybe your banking stuff, uh, um, just any and everything. God, I seem like I can't think. But yeah, to your gaming, your banking, uh, all of that, folks. So make sure that you change your passwords. Change your passwords. I know that some people change it every 6 months, some people a little bit more often, or once a security breach happened with maybe a store that you deal with, big box or otherwise, or even some of these governmental agencies. Uh, I guess the credit unions themselves had breaches prior before, and maybe if you had a security freeze or credit freeze or something or another going on with them, etc., that you may have had a password, you may have needed to change it. But yes, make sure that you are ever so often changing your passwords. And sometimes it is possible that places that you deal with, they may say, hey, it's time to change your password, etc. So that is a good thing to do. And the reason that I wrote this down was last week I saw an article and I didn't do a walking and talking to get the information out, but maybe you all seen it where in the gaming community they had another breach. And I think the article that I read said that this breach, more information was gathered because they had a previous breach where a lot of information had been gathered during the breach. So make sure that if you're on these gaming devices, I guess I should add that also too, etc. You have passwords. Make sure that you are changing your passwords periodically. Just a good thing in general. And I get it. It can be, oh my God, now I'm going to have to write down something, remember something, or if you're using one of these password saver types or password manager type applications, now you got to go back in and do something differently, etc. So yeah, change your password. That is the tip of the day. That is the tip of the day. The daily to do is to take your medications, your prescribed medication. Take your prescribed medications. And if you are on some type of regimen where you are taking over-the-counter medications, also too, then take those. Just make sure that you remember to take those medications. And of course, any vitamins, etc., that you are taking over the counter type. So it'll be the same thing. That you are taking your medications as prescribed by the doctor, per what it says on your pill bottle. Make sure that you are doing that. If it requires you not to drink at all, please do not drink while you are taking these medications or any other thing. If it says take it with food, water, milk, or something, make sure that you are doing that, etc. All that good stuff. And make sure that you are in a good mindset, a good mind frame as possible when you're taking your medications. And I get it, like, oh, I've been taking this medication for 2 or 3 years now. I'm just overly tired of it. When the medication is doing something to help you to live to see another day, etc. So it is what it is. But if you are in a good mind frame about when you are taking medications, I think that is a good thing. I don't know. It's all connected in my brain. There's some old news. The government shutdown did not happen. We are good until the earlier part of March, and then it'll start percolating again. What else do I have on here? And I do have this other computer open so that I can read off a few things uh, FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. If you have a student that is going to be going to college or some type of trade school, which I learned today that that is one of the categories, live and learn, where you can apply for free for federal student aid also into. So if you have a student that is going to be going at some point between now and 2025 to a trade school or college or something, and you want to see how much money you can get free, etc., because they have different categories to what the federal student aid, what type of funds you can get. You can get grants, scholarships, work study funds, and of course, loans. So if that is something that your student is going to be doing, make sure you start to look on these forms to see what all information they require. When I looked on here, one of the things that I saw was 7 key changes to the FAFSA that they are having. I'm just going to read them off briefly. I didn't um, go into this too heavy. Just thought it might be information that someone could use. The 2024 through 2025 FAFSA form will launch in December 2023. So make sure that you are reading all the information on what all needs to happen. And the information that I didn't know was that there are different forms within the FAFSA that you're going to fill out if you are doing a specific thing. One would be attending college or career/trade school between July 1, 2023 and June 30th, 2024. So if you have a student that's going to be going to college or career/trade school between those time frames, then that particular form is the one they need to fill out, which is listed on the thing. Attended college or career/trade school between July 1, 2024 and June 30, 2025. That's another form. If you're going to be doing college or career/trade school during both of the periods, that particular form. And then if you are attending summer classes, then it tells you which form you need to send. So they have a breakout of all the stuff, etc. It talks about anyone who provides information on your FAFSA form will be considered a contributor. It has information on there, what a contributor is, who qualifies as a contributor, who does not. So make sure that you are looking at that. And of course, if you're putting your name, I did read, if you're putting your name on there as a contributor, then you are saying, hey, I can look at your tax information, your federal tax information. You must provide consent and approval to be eligible for federal student aid. You won't be able to access the FAFSA form without a studentaid.gov account. And I mentioned in here that your contributor can also get a studentaid.gov account. The formula used to determine your financial eligibility is changing. Read that. You may qualify for additional federal Pell Grants, funds, etc. And the last one is, focus, Wanda. The student aid report is how the FAFSA submission is now the FAFSA submission summary. So lots of good information. If you have a child that is going off to college, career school, trade school, or some another like that, and you want to get or try to, you can apply for free funds via the FAFSA, as they call it, free application for federal student aid, etc. If that is you, then yes. And of course, you always want to try to get as much as you can from our government that is here, that you are paying taxes into, etc. But they will make you jump through hoops. They will make you jump through hoops, so make sure that you have all the paperwork up front. You got all the information that you need up front. And besides what they have here, maybe you can talk to friends and family members that may have done the FAFSA, etc. All of that good stuff. Or call a college office, maybe during a slow period, and say, hey, tell me some information about the FAFSA. How does it work? What have you seen, etc. To get information so that you can make sure that you are have the information at least, and you can go on. The states may have deadlines for the FAFSA, so make sure that you check with your state to see what their deadlines are. If your child is going to be going to school in your particular state, your state may have a deadline to when they will stop accepting them, etc. So yeah, that was on the FAFSA. That was on the FAFSA. What else do I have here? And we all have heard this phrase before, work-life balance. And I think It is my opinion that women, yeah, we can do a lot of things, but we can't be out here trying to be superwoman. And when people got tired of, oh, I'm superwoman, and I know that people are still out there doing all these things. You got the husband, you got the child or children, and you are still working 40 hours a week and maybe plus, and then you're coming home to second shift where you're taking care of all of those folks, and you're cleaning the house and you're cooking, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now you're tired of this superwoman type thing, and they went on and you're trying to make it solve the work-life balance. Uh, all of these things. I am working so much, I am doing so much, and now I don't have the life part. I'm doing all the work part, but I'm not having the life part, time for myself, time that I can just dedicate to myself, friends, do things for myself outside of the stuff over here that is work, which is besides the 40-hour week job, the husband, the child, or the children, and the cleaning of the house, etc., and the cooking. All of that part is the work. I don't have a life for me, etc. Or you can't see that you have a life outside of all these things happening. You have zero time left. So the work-life balance. And this one thing on USA Today on the personal finances. Over 50% of Americans would take a 20% pay cut for work-life balance, but can they retire? And I get it. And of course, the thing goes on to cite numbers and surveys and polls. Of course, if someone asks me the question, "Hey, would you rather not work at? Would you take a 20% pay cut, etc.?" And depending on a person's situation, because that's what they're thinking about, depending on their situation, if they are married and they don't have any kids to take care of, and maybe they own their own home, and maybe they get to travel and do these other things, and then maybe they have retirement savings, maybe they have their a fully funded emergency fund, 12 months or more, etc., then maybe that person say, yes, you're probably, but they have all the other stuff that is conducive to, hey, I can take a break. I don't need to be working as many hours as I am working, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It depends on a person's situation whether that is something that they will say yes to. But of course, it gets eyeballs like mine, et cetera. So of course, in my brain, if you want a different work-life balance, if you want more life and less work, then you're going to have to work towards getting there. And that means the managing of your money, what you're doing with your money now, where you're putting your money for your retirement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and all the things that you have going on. If you got children going on and they are under 18, et cetera, all the stuff that stuff is not going to stop. If you decide you want to take a 20% pay cut so that you can maybe stay home 1 or 2 days a week, et cetera, and all this other stuff. You're going to have to do something with the money, because if you're taking a 20% pay cut, the pay cut is the money. So we're talking about money here. We're going to exchange. Of course, you exchange your time for money now. Now you want to take away the 20% of your income and do all the life stuff over here to get the time back. So you're going to have to work and do something differently, and you may or may not want to do that. You may be so used to working, and where your financial picture, what your financial situation is, you know what it is. You see the numbers. You may already know, hey, I cannot take a 20%, much less a 5% pay cut in order so that I can get more time to myself and enjoy life a little bit, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it just may not happen. So you may just have to do something differently if you want to cut back on the time that you are spending at work. Maybe you could talk to your boss about, hey, is there something I can do so that I can have 1 day a week, maybe teleworking, working from home, or 2 days working from home, etc. Or, you cut back on your hours, maybe 5 or so, if that will work for you. 5 or so hours a week, from 40 hours to 35, if that works for you, whatever it is, or get another job or something or another. There are so many ways to make it work so that you can get more time back to yourself. But if you're looking at your numbers and you are so much in debt, etc., you don't have any type of plan, you're not doing a budget, it's going to look crazy. It's going to look crazy. And it may work for a month, that because you're all happy and excited, oh, now I don't have to go to work today, or I can telework for 5 hours or something like that. It looks great, fine, and fantastic. But when the paycheck comes in and it's it's going to be different, of course, and then you find, oh my God, how am I going to pay this bill, et cetera, et cetera. And then you get yourself all crazy and worked up, and that is not good either, because that affects your mental health, as does your working, the work, the husband, the child, children, the cooking, the cleaning, etc., and then you're working a 40-hour week, that is work too, and that is affecting your mental also too. So yeah, just be careful, of course, write out everything, pros and cons, look at your financial situation because if it's going to be a pay cut, then that means a money cut, that means a money reduction, and you may or may not be able to do that. Or you can decide to do something differently, like I mentioned, find a new job that works with whatever it is that you want to do, but know that if you're going to be working less pay, but the bills and everything go on, or just totally do something, revamp your whole thing, your whole budget. Stop doing things, cut out this, that, and the other, and just deal with it and live with it. And then you can get more time back to for yourself and continue to do these other things, but less time at the job. A lot of ways to get it. But that was an interesting story. So with that being said, I am going to get off here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it as always. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join my membership here on Wanda Budgets and Beyond. Check out my playlist and all that good stuff, folks. Take care and have a great day. Bye bye.